Hi, my name is Abhishek Tripathi, man behind this channel Extracts. I'm running this channel for over 5 years and with 300 plus book summaries and counting. If any of my videos helps you out, please like and subscribe and drop your book recommendation in the comment section. Let's dive in.
Ryan Leake, How to Work with Complicated People. Strategies for Effective Collaboration with Nearly Anyone. Introduction. Work would be so much easier if it weren't for people, right? Deadlines, tasks, projects, you can plan for those. But the real challenge? Dealing with complicated coworkers. No matter how much you love your job, one difficult person can make it feel like a daily struggle. And here's the thing, you can't avoid it. Wherever there are people, there will be misunderstandings, clashes, and moments that test your patience. I remember a time when I had a teammate who would push back on every single idea. At first, I thought the only way forward was to fix them or get them to see things my way. Spoiler, it didn't work. What actually helped was shifting my own approach. I stopped trying to change them and instead focused on how I showed up in that relationship. That's when things started to feel lighter. And that's really the secret. The magic doesn't come from trying to change others. It comes from changing how you relate to them, protecting your peace, adjusting expectations, and finding ways to connect without burning out. Because while you can't control who shows up in your workplace, you absolutely can control how you show up in theirs. In this video, we'll explore how accepting your own complexity is the first step to working better with others. You'll learn why investing in tough relationships can actually make your job more enjoyable, how to sharpen your communication skills, and ways to protect your energy when collaboration just isn't possible. So if you've ever felt drained by office dynamics, stick around. This might just change how you see your work relationships.
Chapter 1. We're all someone's difficult person. Think about the last time someone at work really got under your skin. A face probably popped into your mind right away. Maybe it's the colleague whose negativity drains everyone, the manager who never listens, or the boss who speaks in riddles. You're not alone. Studies show nearly half of Americans deal with complicated people every single day. But here's the twist. It's not just them. It's us, too. We're quick to call others difficult when they seem stubborn, negative, or lazy. But the truth is, we've all shown those traits at some point. To someone else, we might be the complicated person. That thought can sting, but it's also freeing. Because when we own our quirks and blind spots, we gain empathy. We become more patient and open to collaboration. Instead of wishing others would change, we start looking at how we can grow alongside them. This doesn't mean tolerating bad behavior. It means shifting the lens through which we see people. Most of us walk around as the hero of our own story, casting others as villains or side characters. But they're doing the exact same thing with us. Realizing that our perspective might be incomplete allows us to reinterpret what we see. That stubborn coworker? Maybe it's passion. The critic who always points out flaws? Maybe they're pushing toward excellence. Reframing doesn't erase the difficulty, but it makes working with people far more manageable and sometimes even rewarding. At the end of the day, we're all complicated humans figuring things out in a complicated world. Offering each other a little more grace doesn't just make collaboration easier, it makes it more human.
Chapter 2. How to Work with Difficult People and Actually Enjoy It. When you think about the hardest part of your job, it's usually not the deadlines or the workload. It's the people. You can have clear goals and solid plans, but one strained relationship can make everything feel heavier than it needs to be. The good news? You can change your daily experience by learning how to work with difficult colleagues instead of just avoiding them. Of course, that's easier said than done. Maybe you've already perfected ways to steer clear of certain coworkers. But here's the thing. Avoiding them doesn't really solve the problem. In fact, even a small shift in how you engage with them can make your work life much smoother. That person who drains your energy, improving that relationship by even 1% can make meetings less tense and your day feel a lot lighter. There's another benefit too. Every time you handle tough relationships with a little more patience or openness, you're also shaping the larger culture. Workplaces rarely change through big, sweeping gestures. They shift slowly, conversation by conversation, moment by moment. Your effort contributes to a more supportive and less stressful environment for everyone. And don't forget the unexpected upside. You actually need complicated people. Their different ways of thinking, working, and solving problems can push you to grow and spark creative solutions you might never reach on your own. Sometimes it's the friction that leads to real breakthroughs. So, where do you start? It begins with your mindset. Practice 4 habits. Self-awareness. Notice how others experience you. Ownership. Take responsibility for your role in the dynamic. Curiosity. Try to understand their perspective. Connection. Look for common ground. Yes, it will feel messy at times, but the return, stronger relationships, better teamwork, and a more enjoyable workplace is worth it.
Chapter 3: How to Connect, Lead, and Handle Conflict at Work. We often think communication is simple. You say something, the other person understands it, and that's it. But in real life, it rarely works that way. We're all imperfect people trying to connect, so misunderstandings are normal. To work better with colleagues, especially the complicated ones, it helps to rethink how you communicate. Start with direction. Talking to your boss, your peers, or your team requires different approaches. When speaking upward, always think C-suite. Frame your ideas in terms of company goals and big picture concerns. When speaking across to peers, lead with respect. Acknowledge their contribution before making your point. When speaking downward, remember leaders are also repeaters. A great manager knows how to deliver the same message in different ways, tailoring it for each person. Next, think about the medium. Every channel has its own style. On video calls, practice balancing speaking up and listening. In emails, pay attention to tone. Written words can feel sharper than you intend, so add a touch of warmth or positivity. In person, small talk is your secret weapon. A quick story, a casual question, or a friendly opener can build stronger connections than you'd expect. And what about conflict? Even with the best skills, clashes will happen. The key isn't to avoid them, but to handle them well. If you address problems quickly, fairly, and with facts, you can turn conflict into progress. You may even come out with stronger respect on both sides. Good communication isn't about being perfect. It's about being aware, adjusting your approach, and keeping relationships healthy even when things get tough.
Chapter 4: How to Protect Your Peace Around Complicated People. We've all met someone we'd call complicated. Maybe it's their attitude, the way they communicate, or just that they see the world differently than we do. But often, the real frustration comes from the gap between who they are and who we expect them to be. Here's a mindset shift that helps. Stop being surprised. People are complex. If you walk into every meeting, chat, or email expecting smooth sailing, you'll keep getting disappointed. Instead, expect things to be messy sometimes. Not everyone will agree with you. Speak your language or act with perfect politeness. Letting go of those hidden expectations protects your energy and gives you back control. Try this. Check your assumptions. Notice how often your hopes for someone else, like wishing they'd communicate better or think like you, lead to frustration. The more you accept people as they are, the less power they have to throw you off balance. Of course, friction will still happen. Misunderstandings, disappointments, even hurt feelings are part of working with others. The real question is, what do you do with that pain? You can bury it, hold grudges, or numb yourself. Or you can face it, process it, and move forward. This is where resentment becomes a powerful tool. Forgiveness doesn't mean letting people off the hook. It means freeing yourself. Think of it as clearing out emotional clutter. Resentment takes up valuable space you could use for the work and the life you care about. So, make some choices ahead of time. Be the colleague you'd want to work with. Let small things slide, because most of them are small, and decide to forgive even before the next letdown happens. That way, you're prepared, not blindsided. Complicated people will always exist, but they don't get to control your story unless you hand them the pen.
Chapter 5. Protecting yourself at work with boundaries. No matter how many books you read or strategies you try, sometimes collaboration just isn't possible. Some people won't meet you halfway, and that's not a reflection of your effort. It's about them, not you. The good news is, those truly impossible collaborators are rare. Most colleagues, given time and space, can shift and adapt. But in every workplace, there will be a few who may never change. When walking away isn't an option, the best strategy is setting boundaries. Boundaries are simply the limits you draw to protect your time, energy, and well-being. They define what you're willing to accept and what you're not. And while drawing those lines can feel uncomfortable, especially with difficult personalities, they're essential for staying balanced and productive. It's important to remember, boundaries aren't about controlling others, they're about taking responsibility for yourself. Healthy boundaries allow you to stay engaged with your work without being drained by it. If you're just starting, begin small. Try not answering work emails or messages after hours. Practice saying no clearly but respectfully when something doesn't align with your priorities. And remember, a boundary only works if it's communicated. People can't respect limits they don't know exist. And when you do communicate, keep it simple and respectful. Clear language gives your boundaries the best chance of being honored. And in those rare cases where issues persist, documentation becomes your safety net. Keeping a written record can help if you need to involve a manager or HR. Boundaries won't magically change difficult people, but they will give you back control, protect your peace, and help you recognize when it's time to keep going or when it may finally be time to step away.
Conclusion. So, what did we learn today? Work gets complicated because people are complicated. You're surrounded by leaders making tough decisions, teammates carrying unseen struggles and situations that rarely have simple answers. And let's be honest, you're complicated too. But here's the encouraging part. Complexity isn't always a barrier. It can actually be a bridge. When you bring humility, curiosity, and resilience into your interactions, you create small shifts that can ripple out in powerful ways. So the next time you walk into your workplace, remember, you're not powerless. Every act of patience, every moment of generosity, every effort to understand someone else helps move things forward. One person at a time, one day at a time. That's how real change begins. And it starts with you. If this video gave you something to think about, give me a favor. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps us bring you more content just like this. And I'd love to hear from you. How do you handle complicated people at work? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading and responding. And if you found this video useful, share it with a colleague or friend who might need a little encouragement in their own work relationships. Sometimes a simple reminder can go a long way. Thanks for spending your time with me today. Take these ideas with you, try them out in your own workplace, and see what changes. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay curious, stay resilient, and keep showing up.
Hey, thanks for watching. If this book summary adds value to you, hit the like button, subscribe, comment your thoughts, and share with someone who love it too. And don't forget to sign up our weekly free newsletter for one-page summary of this book. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.